One. So today we're going to see how to find the domain and the range of a given function. Yau za mu ga yadda za mu gano domain da kuma range na function. But first, before we begin with the problems, let's start revising or discussing about domain and the range of a function. Kafin mu ci gaba da solve a problem, bari mu yi magana kan menene ake ce ma domain da kuma range na function, misali, so that the explanation will serve as a hint for you when we're trying to find the domain and the range of any given function. Bayanin da zamu zai taimake ka wajen gano range da kuma domain na kowane function da aka baka. So look at this carefully. When you are given a function and you are asked to find the domain of that function, what it means is that you are to find the values, all set of values of the independent variable for which the function or the dependent variable will have a real values. Abin da ake nihi idan aka baka function sai aka ce ka gano domain na shi, kai kokari ka gano set na all real numbers, the independent variable ɗinka, in this case x, za ta samu wanda wa'annan values ɗin duka da x ta samu idan muka yi plugging ɗin su cikin wannan function ɗin, y za ta samu real values. That is some real values. All values of y that is some real numbers. Abin da yake magana kenan. Domain shine ka gano set of values of x or the independent variable wanda idan muka yi plugging din su nan cikin function din zai sa function din ya samu real values. Do you understand? So idan kuma aka ce a gano range na function, za ka zo cikin domain ɗinka ka gano duka set of values na x wanda idan x tana ɗauke da wannan value ɗin tana da wannan value ɗin kowane value na x ka ɗauko cikin wannan set ɗin ka sanya mata wannan y ɗin za ta samu value wanda yake real, za ta samu value wanda yake real number. Do you understand? So shi kuma range, when you are asked to find the range of a function, just substitute the maximum and the minimum values from the what? Domain in the function. What I mean here is that ka zo cikin domain naka ka ɗauki maximum values ka substitute ɗin shi nan ciki ka ga wani value y za ta samu, sannan kuma you substitute the minimum value of the domain in the function. Sai ka ga y wani value za ta samu. Do you understand? Wannan set of values na y ɗin da ke wannan range da shi ake ce ma range. Amma let's stop this one and see. Okay. An ce mu gano, we are asked to find the domain and the range of this function. As you can see, this function has a word as a square root. So in this case, we are just to find the domain of this function, we must find all values, set of values of what? X, for which this number under the square root is positive. Because if these things, if the value of these numbers, this expression under the square root is negative, so therefore definitely y will take out a complex value. Dole ne mu gano dukkan values of x, da wanda x za ta dauka, wanda zai sa wannan result din nan ciki ya zama na positive. Me dalili? Saboda idan abin da ke nan ciki negative, kun ga za mu ce square root of negative something. Do you understand? So we already know that square root of negative 1 is what? Is called r, the imaginary. Understand? So we are falling into what? Complex domain. Do you understand? So no matter what, this guy under the square root must not be negative. It must be positive. Do you understand? So in the manner some all values of x such that this value, 1 minus x squared is what? Is positive. Do you understand? So let me check the words. Defines for the domain, this 1 minus x squared must be greater than or equal to 0. Maybe you understand. Oh, in there as a gano domain to one abin da ke karkashin square nan dole ya zama greater ko kuma is equal to what? 0. Ko dai ya zama 0 ko kuma ya zama ya fi 0. That is, it must be positive. It must be positive. That is, in nasa less than 0 ina nihin negative kenan. Yau shine idea da yasa aka sa wannan substitution din. Abin da kenan ciki dole ya zama da cewa positive ne. That is why muka ce dole ya zama 0 ko kuma ya fi 0. So let's solve this inequality. You see? So this implies that, you see, this is 1 and this is 0. So we leave this minus x squared here greater than or equal to, what will happen to this one? 1 will come to this side. This 0, 0 minus 1, we have what? Minus 1. Kongani kwalag like times ne muka kawai. Mun dauki 1, it is positive, ta down ta zama negative. 0 minus 1 is what? Minus 1. So we are just trying to find the what? Values of x. So as you can see, x squared, x has what? Has minus here and has a power. So first, we must get rid of this minus, and then next we should get rid of the what? Of the power too. Abin da zamu shine mu fara cire wannan minus din. Idan muka cire shi, next sai mu cire wannan power. Yaya ake shine nan? Zamu ce multiply both sides by minus 1 ko kuma divide both sides by minus 1. Misali, minus x squared greater than or equal to minus 1 divided by minus 1 divided by minus 1. But in inequality, remember, whenever you divide both sides by negative value or multiply both sides by negative value, the inequality sign will change. Duk lokacin da kai divide both sides by negative value ko multiplying both sides by negative value, to definitely inequality sign ɗinka zai juya. Do you understand? So now, as you can see, you see this? So what do we have? X squared now is less than or equal to 1. Saboda mun yi divide both sides by negative value, to ya tashi daga ya juya. Do you understand? So when we divide both sides by negative 1, as you can see there, so we have what? This implies that x squared is less than or equal to 1. It's less than or equal to 1. So what are the values now? Less than or equal to 1. X squared is less than or equal to 1. When you take the square root, what do you have? Therefore, x is less than or equal to 1. X is less than or equal to 1. So now, you must find the values of x that are within this range, such that the function y has a real values. Wannan inequality din da muka samu x less than or equal to now 1, it must be less than or equal to 1, but it cannot be greater than 1. That is what this one is saying. That is that iya ta gaza ma daya, amma kuma ba za ta kai daya, amma ba za ta fi nawa ba daya. Wannan numbers ne suka follow guzun wannan inequality din, wanda za su satisfy wannan condition din. Wanda in muka plugin din su nan ciki, y za ta samu real values. What are the numbers? What are the numbers da ke within wannan range din? X is less than, so it can be what? Minus, take any negative number. If you take minus, let's start from minus 3. If you take minus 3, here you have 1 minus 3 squared. What do you have? 1 minus 3 squared is what? 9 minus x. So this one is what? It's a complex. We'll have a complex. So this 1 minus 3 is not in the range. If you take minus 2 also, you have what here? Minus 2, you have what? 4, you have what? Minus 3. So minus 2 is not in the range again. Understand? But take what? Let's take minus 1. Minus 1 here. Minus 1 squared is what? 1. So minus 1 is what? 0. So minus 1 is in the range. Saboda da muka take x is minus 1, mun samu the real value. Do you understand? Maybe you understand, but so we have minus 1. Then what? Let's put 0. When x is 0, what do we have? 1 minus 0 square. 1 minus 0 is what? 1. Square root of 1 is what? Is 1. Do you understand? Maybe there is no any problem, but so this one 0. Let's see. So let's take what? 1. So at x equal to 1, what will happen to the expression C in the radical? We have 1 minus 1 square. 1 minus 1, which is what? 0, which means y has a what? Also a real values. So the only values of x, the only values of x in this interval for which this y has a what? Real values. Some fara daga nawa ne? Minus 1 to now to 1. Minus 1 to 1. So unless the last time when discussing the interval, but what are we going to say? We say this is minus 1 less than equal to x less than equals to 1. That is, we start from minus 1 to what? To 1. Or we just write it like this. Minus 1, comma what? 1 is all the same. So look at this. So the only values of what? Of x, no need to write it. So the only values of x for which this inequality, in this inequality, values of x are one inequality, wonder why that is the real values are what? Are in the interval. Are in the what? Interval. So domain. Our domain is what? Minus 1 less than equal to x less than equals to 1, or we just write it like this. Minus 1, comma 1. So this is the domain. These are the range of values of x, that is the independent variable, for which this independent variable has the what? Real values. So for the range, for the range, in order to find the range, we just substitute the maximum and the minimum value of the domain in the function. Abada da mean shi sai mu dauko maximum value na domain din mai what? 1. Minimum din is what? Minus 1. So then can you know minus 1, 0, 1. Do you understand? So maximum babban value din shi ne 1. Minimum din kuma shi ne na minus 1. Saboda 0 is greater than minus 1. Baka da ko kwandala ya ce ana din ka naira ɗaya. Do you understand? Yes. So the maximum value here is what? 1. The minimum value is what? Minus 1. Do you understand? So let's substitute the maximum value. When x is equal to y, what is the value of y? 1, we have 1 minus 1 square. 1 minus 1, which is what? 0. So substitute the minimum value also. What we have? When x is minus 1, what do we have here? Square root of 0 is still what? 0. So we have y is equal to 1 minus 1 square. So this is square root of 1. Minus 1 square is what? 1. The square root of what? 0, which is what? 0. Do you understand? So the minimum values, the y that is what? Is 0. Do you understand? Y meaning that the y will start from what? From 0 to what? To 1. So range, our range here is what? Is 0 less than equals to y less than equals to 1. Less than equal to 1. Maybe you understand. Oh, maybe number one issue now. This is our domain. When you explanation, you have a domain, and like a range, you have maximum value na 1. Plug it here. Then you have y. Mangano 0. Take the minimum value. Plug it here. What you get is the value of y is 0, which means range then will start from what? From 0. The range of the function then will start from 0 to what? To 1. Values of y start from 0 to 1. Do one values when you take x is to be minus 1, you get what? 0. When you take x to be what? 0. What are you going to get as value of y? 1. Maybe you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, dika values in that. These are the what? Values of x. The corresponding values of y are there, which we call the range. Do what values the case substitution then the x can flow in that is our values in y. X is minus 1, you get y to be equal to what? 0, como we demonstrated here. X equal to 0, y is equal to what? 1. X equals to 1, x equals to 1, y will be equal to what? 0. So the values of y, the corresponding values of y for which x ranges from minus 1 to 1 are what? 0 to 1. Understand? From 0 to 1. So, thank you very much.